Honestly, I didn't expect to make this video. I thought this would be a lot more of an exciting situation to be in, but unfortunately, not everything goes as planned. Now, about a year ago, I was looking for a new car and I bought an E36 M3. Unfortunately, it came with a blown motor and we had to rebuild that thing to make it drivable again. Along the way, we did everything that we could, maintenance-wise, to get it situated. Once it was done, I decided that it wasn't really the car that I wanted to keep. Now, it was a tough decision to get rid of that thing, but what caught my eye was something I didn't think I'd ever own. I started scouring the market, reaching out to importers, talking to as many people as possible, and trying to figure out what the best option for this new car would be. And I finally landed on one. Now everything was going smooth. We found a car overseas. We really liked it. Everything checked out. I even had someone I trusted to go look at the car for me to make sure everything was good, and he gave me the green light. We weren't able to drive it or anything like that, but feeling a little bit confident, we went ahead, got the green light on the car, and purchased it. Now, it took 5 months to arrive here at port, which was a lot longer than I expected. I thought it would be 2 to 3 months max, but you can't really control that. But once it got here, that's when the issues really started.
Now, today is an exciting day. So a little bit of an unexpected plan today. We got notice that the car that we bought 4-5 months ago now finally arrived at the port. So we're gonna be going to pick this thing up today and check it out for the first time. Like I said, I've been waiting a long time. For those of you who do not know, we sold the E36, we took that money and we bought this thing. And it just took a lot longer to get here than expected. But now we're here, let it go inside, pay some fees, get some paperwork, and then we should be good to take this thing home. And I'm very excited for you guys to see what this thing is.
Now, you'd think everything would go as planned, but as soon as we started driving this thing, it all started. I started noticing a weird noise coming from what seemed like the outside right wheel hub. I could tell something was grinding. I thought it was the wheel hub going bad or a brake rotor stuck. I really couldn't tell where exactly it was coming from. Not even 2 to 3 minutes later, the entire car started shaking and I just pulled over immediately because I knew I broke something.
Now, I really didn't think this was how we were gonna start this video. I apologize if it is very loud, but we're sitting on the side of the highway because we just broke something. We literally drove the truck 5 minutes. I heard a little noise coming from that front wheel, the driver's side front wheel. And then next, you know, kaboom, random little clunking noises, and I pulled over right away. So, not sure what's going on. I wish I knew more about these than I do. My plan was to learn as we got into it, but no. So now we're waiting for the tow truck to show up. As you can see, interior is nice, very nice, but I guess that's the only nice part about it. And I'm really hoping that we don't get pulled over by a cop because no insurance, no license plate, no paperwork on the car, technically. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Got underneath the car, I checked the drive shaft. That seemed to be okay. I could definitely see some heat radiating off of the front differential, so my immediate thoughts went to my front diff is blown, and it kind of seemed like it.
This is where we're at now. Coming off the tow truck after putting maybe 2 miles, maybe 3 miles on it. I genuinely don't know if it was something I caused. I don't think so, because as soon as I got it off the lot, I heard the ticking noise. But if it was my fault, I'll own up to it. We just got to figure out if it was. So the weird part is, as it's rolling in reverse, it wasn't doing nothing. But when we were trying to inch it forward, it was like catching on something and like jumping. So my guess, if I had to guess, it's the front axle or differential, but it could be anything. So we'll see what happens here in a few minutes. We're gonna do some more testing to figure it out. But yeah, this is the new Cruiser. This is our 80 series emerald green is the color. You guys know I love my green. In the Baltimore area and you guys need a tow, these guys picked me up super quick and got me up here. But this is Everett Transport. Got me back to a safe spot, thank God. Now we gotta figure out what's next with this thing. And if you haven't already guessed it, this is the diesel version because we got it imported from, actually it was in Japan and then it went over to Dubai for some reason. Not sure exactly why, but we saw this. It had a very healthy motor, and one of my good buddies, he's actually in Dubai at the time, and he went to go test drive the thing, made sure everything was good. It was running good. There was no rust issues because that is my biggest enemy, as we all know. So he gave me the green light and we ended up buying it, and it took about 5 months to get here. We bought this exactly when we sold the E36, so back in December, and we were waiting for this thing to show up. Now, one of the cool things about it is that it also came with a spare tire, the tire carrier, which goes right here, and then it even came with the entire roof rack assembly. So that sits on top of the car up there. We'll probably have to do some cleaning on the entire thing, maybe get some new turbo stickers right here, get those on the car, and then overall just clean up the paint, which is pretty beat up right now. I think it's been sitting in that Dubai sun for quite a bit of time. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, moment of truth. Let's see. Imagine there's nothing in there.
Oh, there's very little in there.
That's probably why. Yeah, that's literally not.
Oh, no.
Oh, those are big chunks.
It's not too. Oh, there's nothing in there.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. So we just pulled the diff plug out because they came up with the idea that it might be just fluid being low, and then that's why it was overheating. Let's go ahead and put some in, and then we'll see if this remediates it. But yeah, not a good way to start the journey. This is the amount of fluid that came out of this. All right.
It probably will still be fine.
I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping.
It might have cooked like some bearings, but I think the actual diff is fine. These don't break like that. I don't think so. I'll tighten it later. So, all right, let's get the bags going.
Yeah, let me open one up.
So at this point, I had no other choice but to tow this thing back home or somewhere and figure out what the next steps were. I spent some time calling around to some shops, and as soon as they heard diesel or import, they immediately said no. So I had to figure out what to do with this thing. And it wasn't starting off too good. Now you'd think this is where things got better. While we're waiting for the shop to take in the truck, the car's sitting outside.
Look at that. So it's literally leaking out. So now we know how it got so empty, because it literally leaked out. My guess is an entire liter has leaked out so far already, and now I've got to figure out. This thing definitely needs a rebuild. I mean, that's for sure. This side's not leaking, but that side is.
We finally found a shop nearby that was willing to take the truck on and work on it for us, see what the extent of the damage was. So we dropped it off at Extra Mile Performance. And that's where the news got even worse. After the initial diagnosis, they figured out that front knuckles were gone bad. The seals all needed to be replaced, and it was going to cost me a whopping $2,400. Now, a lot of that was due to the labor cost because it is a pretty time-intensive project. Unfortunately, I would have loved to do it myself, but I don't have any tools. I lost all those in the fire, so I don't have any tools. I don't have any equipment. I don't even have a jack right now. So that's kind of the situation that I'm in with a lot of the repairs that we need to be doing on the M6 and now this thing. From there, we figured out that our wheel bearings, as expected, were also bad, so those needed to be replaced as well. At that point, they started to break down everything to fix the knuckles, and they noticed that our front rotors were also bad. They had some chunks missing out of them. One of the calipers was stuck in the compressed position, so that needed to be replaced as well. And then they noticed that the AC was leaking, and in the Maryland heat, it is constantly 90 to 95 degrees in the midst of summer, and I didn't want to be sitting there sweating profusely. I opted to have that fixed, and that brought out the total to $3,500. Again, that is a lot, but I had no other choice given that it is an imported truck, it is a diesel, and not a lot of shops want to work on it. So at that point, I gave them the green light and they started repairing it, and I finally got word back that the truck was done. So that brings us to current day. It is sitting on the driveway. It is no longer leaking oil from the front diff or the axle seals, but we still can't technically drive it. Now, once I came to pick it up, they did mention to me one more thing. And again, not good news. They showed me a picture of the metal shavings that came out of the front differential magnetic plug, and there was a lot of metal. They even told me to listen out for some noise from the front diff, and I could definitely hear it on the way home. So at this point, the truck is driving, and it's not driving the best because it still needs to be some other work done to it, but the front differential needs to be rebuilt. Now, the expected cost to do that is also another $2,400. So we're at a whopping $6,000 almost for what I thought would be a running and driving vehicle that came off the ship, you know, that I paid E36 M3 money for. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So yeah, this is the Land Cruiser. This is supposed to be the new daily for myself, and then that is going to be the project car. But it's turning out that this thing is taking a lot more money than I thought it would take to get it, you know, in the States and running and driving to the point where I can actually drive it. It's been sitting here for almost 3 to 4 weeks total, and it's been sitting at a shop for almost a month, just waiting for parts to come in, work to get done, and it is just a sad day. Now, I was able to source some color matched door handles from the UAE, so this should be a direct replacement for the ones that we broke. And since this is such an old car, I thought, why not just go ahead and get both sides just in case the other one breaks. So we're gonna need to replace both the door handles here soon. And while we have that thing open, I'm thinking I'll go ahead and address the window that fell off the tracks. Hopefully that's a quick fix, because that is definitely annoying as well. Mind you, this all happened on the first day of driving this thing, which, if you guys can imagine what my mood was like after that, I didn't want to talk to anybody. So that is the current state of affairs for my dream truck, which obviously didn't turn out as expected. So with that all being said, I would love to hear from you guys what we should do with this thing. I thought we would have a fun daily that we could, you know, use to create some lifestyle content and just enjoy and have fun with, but that's not how it's turning out. So you guys tell me, should we keep this thing? Should we continue working on it? Or should I sell it, break even, and try to find something else? Luckily, I'm at that point, given the market value of these things, that I won't really lose any money. I will just about break even, if not make a few $100s, not much more than that, but I'm very close to that threshold. One more repair and I'm gonna be in the negative, and I really don't want to be. Next steps, drop this thing off, get the front differential repaired, and then see how things go from there. So if you made it this far in the video and you've heard me complaining enough, thank you, appreciate you all watching. And I guess we'll see what the next steps are for this build. Hopefully you saw the vision, because at the time that I bought this thing, I had the G80 M3, I had the E30, which was like the pristine, perfect project car. And then this was gonna be the fun, reliable truck that could tow things around with, you know, go a little bit off-road, have fun with, drive on a daily basis. So now we're stuck with the 40-year-old M6, a 30-year-old Land Cruiser, and I'm just living my best life.